5 is a rematch between Steve Poulin and Dean Peterson at the national championships won by Poulin. But with a new atmosphere, can Peterson turn it around and get the win for the Cyclones, for the Hawkeyes? Going up at 141, Nasir Bailey and Anthony Intermediate. What we have here is a return of All-Americans. One coming up from 133, one coming down from 49. They have two different styles. Bailey likes to ride and turn on top. Echemendia is truly creative on his feet. At 149, Panero Johnson, two-time NCAA qualified, two-time Big 12 champion, trying to become an All-American this year. Ryder Block, if you're in the state of Iowa, you always knew he had the ability and capability to become an All-American. Now it's manifesting this year. And at 197, big match here, four-time All-American, Rocky Elam. Rocky Elam trying to become a national champion and set this place electric. And then Masoma and Dean, three-time NCAA D3 champion. He has the star power. He beat an All-American last dual meet. Will he do it again tonight?
It is no surprise these two teams could not reach an accord on what weight to start at. So after they flipped the coin, Iowa State says, let's roll with the heavyweights. Buckle up, get ready. The 25, Peterson, Poulin, Frost, and Ayala. Nasir Bailey coming over from Arkansas, Little Rock, his first year taking on a healthy Echemendia. Locke and Johnson, Zerbin from Northern Colorado. Jordan Williams, a transfer that Tom Brands brought in. You look at the upper weights at 65, Caliendo and Utim met last year in this duel. Kennedy and Gaitan, two wrestlers familiar with one another. The top-ranked wrestler in the land for Iowa, Angelo Ferrari at 184. 197 with Elam and Indine. And then we start at 285. Younger Bastida, Ben Keeter, two wrestlers coming off injuries in this offseason. Heavyweight is where we start. The top-ranked wrestler in the country is Younger Bastida. Three-time NCAA qualifier for Iowa State. His final year of eligibility coming off a medical red shirt a year ago, taking on Ben Keeter of Iowa. 15-10 against ranked opponents, and the Hawks are happy to have a healthy Keeter back just in time for this duel.
I like starting with Younger Bastida. They feel very confident that Bastida will go out and set this place afire.
And we are underway from a packed Hilton Coliseum, a winter nightmare as far as Iowans go, with a foot of snow outside, winds. We have winter storm warnings, yet 10,000 plus have braved the highways, and they have arrived for the next couple of hours to settle in on one of the great rivalries in this sport. Ben Keeter for Iowa, the redshirt sophomore, local product out of Iowa City. Just his third match of the year. He is coming off-season surgery. Had some repair on his hip, which cost him some time in the room this offseason. Looked good in his return against Dayton Pitzer of Pitt the other night. A 2-0 win against the talented heavyweight for Keith Gavin and the Panthers.
When we heard about that injury to Keeter, no one expected to see him this early, just to show you how hard he worked to get back to where he is. And these are heavy pulls and tugs. They're moving their feet, trying to get position. Both guys are trying to get on the inside and just pulling on the back of the head.
Bastida driving the action near the edge. Keeter trying to recircle. Bastida not allowing him to get back as he shoots low. Bastida controlling the mat right now as we hit halfway through this first period.
He certainly is, and that last shot by Keeter was just a shot to get him off of him. And one of the things that Keeter needs to do, he needs to turn his butt from the outside to the inside. But right now, Bastida's doing a great job of just moving forward.
Good job repositioning near the edge. Continuation of action. Both wrestlers back into the center. Rock, your thoughts with these two teams not agreeing on what weight to start. So in college wrestling in a dual format, the two coaches flip a coin. Iowa State won the toss. Kevin Dresser electing to go with Bastida to start.
That makes sense to me. Bastida is the favorite. Even though it's a 1 and a 6, Bastida has really shown that he is the top wrestler in the country at heavyweight. So they want to start off strong and then going down to 125, which is really a good shot there by Bastida. He's in there. He's got to take his time here and work. He's going to bring it up and look to trip. And that's the first takedown of the dual meet, and the Iowa State fans letting them know that they are appreciative of attacks.
Bastida shooting right after Keeter got tagged with a stall. And now Bastida trying to ride out the final 25 seconds, unable to do that. Keeter able to get away, and it's 3-1.
Surprised he didn't try to keep him down and end the period on top. As I was saying, I like them starting at 285. Another shot in. Every time I talk, Bastida's in on the shot.
Doesn't have a lot of time. Keeter clears out the leg, and that is it for the first period. 3-1. The takedown late for younger Bastida.
Young Bastida wants to get the crowd behind, and that's why they started at 285. Get your number one guy out there. Get a guy out there that is favored to win, and then drop down to 125, where it's considered a toss-up. Momentum is going to be big in this dual meet.
Bastida defers. Keeter starts the second period underneath. Younger Bastida coming off a medical red shirt last year due to a knee injury. Before he was injured, these two met in the Cy-Hawk duel, won by Bastida 7-2 over in Iowa City. Three-time NCAA qualifier. First couple of years for Bastida at 197. The last time we saw him at Nationals in 24 up at the heavyweight division. Keeter is away, and it's 3-2.
This is a pretty important match and a pretty important time in the duel. Right now, another takedown by Bastida really opens it up and you start thinking bonus. However, if Keeter gets a takedown here, it changes the dynamic of this match.
Bastida driving in his right arm underhook.
Keeter's got to circle. He's got to put that leg, hand on the inside and circle in. Let's see if Keeter gets his offense going. He's got to stall against him, so he's got to do a little more. Nice shot there, right at him. It's opening up right now. Keeter's got to keep wrestling here. Bastida's got to open it up right now and really start to look for potential bonus points.
A takedown in the first period, another takedown here in period two. Takes a look over at the clock, 30 seconds to go. Second period, approaching a minute of riding time as the Cyclone senior.
He's keeping him down, building a riding time. In this dual meet, bonus points could really make the difference in the final dual meet score.
When you start talking about bonus points, if you win anywhere from 8 to 14, a major decision, which is an additional bonus, and then 15 or more, the tech fall gets you a couple of bonus points, and then a fall gets you 3. Big escape late there from Keeter.
Watch him get underneath this shot. He gets underneath and knee slide. You see him slide his knees underneath. When he slid his knees underneath, he turned the corner to get that takedown. Bastida said, I want to go back to my feet. He's got the riding time in his favor. He needs a takedown.
Bastida, the 2024 Big 12 heavyweight champion. That is All-American run back in 2022. Again, really applying the pressure heavily to Keeter.
There is a lot of pressure. You're right about that, Sean. Bastida is really moving forward. Keeter has a stall against him. He's got to circle. He's got to attack. But he's doing enough.
You wonder where the gas tank is for Bing Keeter as well, coming off the off-season surgery, just returning to the mat recently in this third period late, down 3.
I'd like to see Bastida snap again and go to an attack. But Keeter's doing a good job of holding there. 1 minute in this period. Another shot. There's a take. There's a stall call.
Second stall call on Keeter, so Bastida Goes up 7-3, 45 seconds, and our official says let's go back to the feet.
So here it is. Right now with the riding time over 1 minute, it is technically 8-3. A takedown by Bastida puts this into a major decision. There's going to be a fire from Bastida to try and get this major.
It is a crowd full of Cyclones because of the weather. Not as many Hawkeye fans making the journey. Bastida trying to light up Hilton Coliseum early. In on that double, has the takedown for 3 late.
Now Keter's got to get up. Bastida did a good job. Now he has the major decision with the riding time. It's got to get to a point where Keter's got to get up. Bastida's going to try and keep him down, and he is going to make a great decision made by Coach. Is it enough?
Keter to a stand-up, one last try. Did he get away late? Yes, he did. Keter slipped away at the last possible second, and Bastida, with the riding time, wins by decision. And in a duel like this, where bonus points are a premium, keep a reminder of this one in your back pocket.
That is doing it for your team. Already knew you weren't going to win. Doing it for the team. Great job by Keter just to get out. Here's the trip, an early takedown. His offense was looking really strong, Bastida. But it's that little thing at the end, just to work for your team, to not give up a bonus point decision.
So, you know, I was ready.
Now, at the end of the match, you know you needed the bonus points. What did you do to finally get that double leg?
Well, you know, I was just thinking, when they say this is the last minute, I was just thinking, like, I gotta go get after it and get one more takedown. Well, you know, I got it, so it was good.
Thanks and congratulations.
So Bastida gives Iowa State the early lead. Cyclones up 3-0 as we now await the arrival of the lightweights at 125 pounds. And as expected, Steve Poulin making his Hilton Coliseum entrance. A couple of transfers getting their first taste of the Cy-Hawk rivalry. Peterson coming over from Rutgers for Poulin. He had a very successful career at Northern Colorado. Second match of the afternoon. Poulin ranked 9th in the country. Peterson coming in a mark of 4-1 this year, the senior from New Jersey. Look at Peterson so far this year in his first 5 matches. Hasn't been scoring a ton of points, but he's been able to win the tight matches. A 4-2 win over Spencer Moore of Illinois, beat Spratley of Oklahoma State 5-4, had a sudden victory win against Pitt and Tyler Chappell. His only loss was to Nick Bouzakis by fall in the national duels.
You start to wonder, with a new environment and they wrestled back in March, what changes have they made? Now, they are who they are, but what little tweaks have they done to make them a little better? Steve Poulin is real nice slide by there. He's got to get behind him just a little more. Steve-O's really staying tight on the hip. But what are the changes that they have to do to make the difference? Steve-O's really a counter guy, good on top. And Peterson, as you said before, he has the flair for the dramatics at the end. He may keep it close, but at the end, you start feeling that Peterson is going to be that guy.
These two met last year. Poulin able to knock off Peterson in the blood rounds, 6-4 at the NCAA. So the second time they have collided in less than a year. Steve Poulin, the returning All-American, 3-time NCAA qualifier. He had his heart crushed 2 years in a row in the blood round before finally able to cross the hump last year, ironically with the win over Peterson, and then earn his first trip to the podium. Straight on shot by Peterson, corralled effectively here by Poulin. Front head position. Let's see what direction Steve Poulin wants to go with it.
Look for it. It was a nice little sucker drag that Peterson had, but as he was coming with the sucker drag, Poulin came in with an underhook to stop that. These guys are seasoned vets. Ten
10 weight classes in a college wrestling duel. Iowa State winning the first one a few moments ago at heavyweight. 3-0 lead for the Cyclones.
Good motion there by Steve-O. Not any real committed shots, but he kept the offense going and earned a stall call against Peterson. Peterson's got to watch his shots and extending himself too much, because you saw early he had a slide by Poulin, and another time he took a shot, a slide by was coming. When Peterson shoots, he's got to keep his hips underneath him. Good shot.
Long-range shot by Peterson into a waterfall, short time. Dean Peterson looking over at the tower clock. Won't have enough time to finish it. We end the first period a draw. No score, nothing settled between these two.
Don't forget ride at the NCAAs. And now let's see what Peterson does.
Quick stand up underneath by Poulin. He's immediately up to his feet, and that did not take long. He is away. Lightning quick stand up off the whistle from Poulin, and Iowa State up 1-0.
That was a really good stand up. Controlled the wrist, got his hips away, and back on the attack. Remember, Steve-O Poulin has been one that's the aggressor, and Peterson has a stall against him. Peterson, when he opens up, he's really dangerous. Slide.
Had the head and arm both pinched, but unable to throw Poulin off his base.
Looked like that little side headlock really had Poulin double ups, double underhooks.
Look for the inside trip, nothing there, working near the edge. Now the action goes out of bounds.
They got more blood coming. You know, Sean, it seems like Peterson has started to have a change from the first period. Like he's starting to warm up a little more. You see the little jab steps moving.
Changing his levels a little bit more.
Right. And Steve-O's really not penetrating with his shots. It seems like Peterson is starting to figure this out a little more.
The escape has been it so far. 125 pounds, our second weight class in the 89th Cy-Hawk duel. See the nose starting to bleed again for Poulin. 20 seconds. Head buried underneath. Dean Peterson. Poulin trying to reshoot. Short time and a low-scoring bout. No real surprise. Two wrestlers who know each other. One last shot there by Peterson, and that's going to be it. 1-0.
Here's the question. Is Peterson going to go underneath, or is he going to stay neutral? He's looking. He's talking to coach. He made a decision. He made a decision. He's going underneath. It might be a great decision, or it might not be a good decision. But when you look at your coach like that, and you all both agree, you know something.
And again, keep in mind, it was a late ride by Poulin at the Nationals last year that sent him to a win. So Peterson says, I want to go underneath anyways and show my improvement since my arrival in Iowa City.
And you know what? It's not just keep him down for the whole period. It's enough to get the riding time. Good roll.
Tries to hit the roll. Poulin sticks to him like glue. Now Peterson looking for the reversal.
That's a cradle.
Does he have enough room to pull it off? Still has his right toe in bounds if he can drag Poulin back in. And they
That's
go
one.
out.
One lost control. I agree with that call. He did not break that hip down on the cradle. He was face to face. I agree with that call. Now, when you have the cradle, let's go back to this. So he gets in, he does what's called a Granby, watch him roll. He held the leg. When you see him hold the leg, he turns, watch him lock the cradle. Yes, sir, right there. Now, he's still on his butt. He did not break him to the side. So face him like that is not enough to give a reversal. Therefore, it's not 2 points, but it is loss of control. 1-1, 1:29 left in the third period. Cy-Hawk duel.
Riding time not a factor in this third period. Comes down to a takedown match, 1:15 to go.
This is where Peterson has really been dangerous. We said when it gets close like this late in the match, this is where Peterson usually shows up. There's a shot, little roll here. Coming through. Nothing's changing here.
Poulin's going to continue to clamp down on the right ankle. You see Peterson desperately trying to free it up.
He's going to try and push that knee up to get a takedown here, but a good job out of Peterson. Watch him try to roll through. He's going to try to roll him through. Watch him try to roll. He's trying to roll. He's holding the ankle. No takedown. Good job here. It looks like a reverse, almost a takedown.
And
there's a takedown.
Peterson gets the 3 late for Iowa. 4-1, the Hawkeye out in front.
The late dramatics that we talked about. We said it earlier, Sean. When it's late and it's tight in a match like this, Peterson shows up, and boy, is he showing up. This is a toss-up match that the Hawkeyes needed big time.
Poulin gets away, needs a takedown to win it, short time. Dean Peterson trying to get Iowa on the board. Poulin on the hunt. Peterson backing off. Iowa ties it up. In his first Cy-Hawk battle, Dean Peterson turns the tables on Steve-O Poulin, 4-2 for the Hawkeye, and the Brands brothers celebrate a win at 125. Big boost for Iowa, and it came down to this final exchange late. Peterson establishing the 3, gets the late takedown, and we talked about the number of Frost, who gets ready to come back to a familiar spot. Frost, who has been a qualifier the past 2 years for Iowa State at 133, was up a weight at 141 to start this year, now gets ready to get back in his old stomping grounds this afternoon.
This match is very important for the duel, but Evan Frost being down at 133 against returning national finalist, if I'm Drake Ayala, I'm trying to push this pace like you wouldn't believe to see if his descent down to 133 was a good descent or a rough one.
Ayala, the national runner-up 2 years ago, down at 125. Last year, lost in the tiebreaker to Lucas Bird, 3-2. And now facing Evan Frost for the second straight year in the Cy-Hawk duel. Try to hit that outside single, and Rock, as you watch Evan Frost, again, it's been a gradual process for him, descending down to 133 pounds. He went through an injury in early October, but Kevin Dresser told us very deliberate, very methodical with the weight drop, getting him ready for this duel today.
He sure did. They said they want to do it the right way and not force it. And Ayala's doing a good job of pushing forward. He does a sweep single, and if you defend that, watch his slide by.
Ayala 4-2 this year, the senior out of Fort Dodge, Iowa. Lost to Ben Divino of Ohio State, lost to Lucas Bird. Those 2 hits coming at national duels. Talked about his success come March. Iowa's overall success as a program. The Hawkeyes had an individual finalist for 35 consecutive years. One wrestler. Just think about the consistency of this program to be able to pull off a feat like that. One wrestler in the finals every year since 1990. 49 of the last 50, dating all the way back to 1975. Capturing the arm here as Ayala has the 2-on-1.
Ayala is just flowing really well. He's moving, he's taking the shots. Now Frost, he's very disciplined. He does everything well. His bottom wrestling is strong. His top wrestling is strong. His feet, they're all strong, but Ayala is really putting the pressure on there with his shots. He's moving well.
1 minute remains, 1 minute.
Second year at 133 for Drake Ayala after wrestling 125. Much for his entire career. He wrestled some 133 during his redshirt year back in 23. Utilized his red shirt behind the great Spencer Lee, the 3-time champ, 2-time Hodge winner. So he arrived in Iowa City, had an opportunity to watch one of the best.
These next 4 weight classes are so important for Iowa State, because when you get up to 65, 74, and 84, the Hawkeyes are very, very strong. Ayala, this has been a great period. No points are scored, but he has set the tone and the pace.
Closing moments of this first period, and we will go into the second scoreless. Look at the top 5 across the country. The defending champion Lucas Byrd of Illinois. Davino put on a show at the National Duels. Holy smokes, was he looking like $1 million. Then you have Ayala and Crookham, the top 4.
Davino looked like something I'd never seen. He looks so strong. Frost gets the escape. And Ayala has not slowed down. There's that slide by. It's uncanny how good that is. Now watch him go towards a single. He's going to try and move up to the single. And here's the single. This is what he's done since high school. Slide by single. Textbook Drake Ayala.
You mentioned him doing that since his high school days at Fort Dodge, winning 3 state championships.
This is when you have a descent, and when we say descent, losing weight, physically, yes, it's going to be tough, but also mentally. When you start to get down and you start questioning, do I have enough inside to keep pushing? Do I have enough energy? And watch the typical slide by, but he goes right back up to the single and chases both legs. Starts with a single, ends with a double. 3-1 Drake Ayala.
Family is so important to both of these athletes. Both have brothers on the team, the twins and the Frost brothers for Iowa State. Jacob and Evan, and then Drake with his younger brother, now part of the Iowa wrestling room, and Drew. Both sets of brothers extremely tight. Now Frost for this first scoring opportunity. He's in deep.
He's lifting up that ankle, but Ayala's doing a good job of blocking it, so he's got to get that right arm through. He's got to go towards the hips, he's going to the head. Look for it, nothing yet. No control. We got short time here. He's got to break that grip. Crunch and go towards the head. He's got to go towards the head to put him in neutral danger. Go towards a half, looking for neutral danger. Good job there by Ayala. Nothing yet. Good position there. Short time, Ayala's in a good position. Turned it around. Is it there? Is it a takedown yet? Is it there? No takedown. They want to talk about it. They want to talk about that one. They want to talk about that one.
The 2 officials will come together and discuss. Kevin Dresser up from the Iowa State corner. Tom Brands having a word with his wrestler, Drake Ayala.
So it's a good job here by Frost trying to beat that right knee. But Ayala's doing a good job of blocking. You see his left foot keeping it up, and now he's going to try and pass it, locking it, and he's going to try and roll through. He was not panicking at all. And then just when there's a motion, he's going to roll. Right when the motion comes through, nothing, still pushing. There it is, good balance. This is just a scramble. A scramble is just a field position, moving and looking for a better position. Drake Ayala is going to come across, watch him lace the ankle. The question is there enough there? What I saw was the head referee looked at the second referee, and the call is confirmed that there is
no points.
No points.
No points awarded. Titus Godbolt wanted to take a look. That was not a challenge from either corner. Keep in mind, in a duel, each corner given 1 challenge brick. Neither one used it. That was an official initiated review. So we start this third pretty much where we picked off at the end of the second. Frost is right back in on that leg.
Right back in. And Frost is very proficient here. He's going to take his time. You're not going to get too many opportunities like this against Ayala. Another roll here. Is that enough? In that same position. There's the takedown. Oh, we got a good one here. We got a good one here.
Frost has his first lead. Ayala back up to his feet. Frost looking for the mat return. Ayala couldn't quite get the full roll through. And now Frost working his way near the edge, and Ayala gets the point, and it's 5-4. Riding time not a factor in this one, and everybody starting to come to their feet.
This is huge. Coming down for the weight. Ayala got in on that leg again. He's going back to that single, but now it's across the hip. Look at the hip position here. Ayala's going to try and push that ankle just out just a little bit and look for a roll through. Watch it. He's going to try and put his foot down. Look at this situation. Watch it, potentially dangerous. He's going to try and crowd him. Nothing. This is craziness. Look at this. This is a bad position for Ayala.
Neutral danger 3 for Evan Frost, and he goes up 8-4, and now potentially dangerous with 29 seconds to go.
That was a neutral danger. Ayala put his position in the back, bad at breaking 90 degrees or less. Here I am talking about Frost and his conditioning. He told me to shut up.
Frost gets the 3 in the neutral danger late. Goes back into the ride. Quick stand up from Ayala. And he is away. Again, riding time not a factor. A takedown for Ayala could force sudden victory. 18 seconds to go.
He can hold on here for dear life.
Frost gets right back in. Anchors in on the left leg of the
He can stall this one out.
Hawkeye Senior. And this crowd at Hilton Coliseum is going to count you down for the final 5 seconds. Iowa State back out in front.
Evan Frost, the descent down from 141 to 33. His conditioning was absolutely phenomenal. Comes back and sets Hilton up again. We've got ourselves a doomie. Back in on the single, a roll position, trying to work his way up, and that's the takedown. Kept the position. He got stronger as the match went on. Ayala came out with good aggression, and this is the neutral danger. 1, 2, 3, that's a takedown.
And keep in mind, with neutral danger, it's 90 degrees, unlike the near fall, which is 45 degrees. So as you're watching that at home, the 90-degree plane broken, thus the 3 count and the 3 mindset. Had to go into a patient type of approach and simply let the body heal, and he is fully ready to go for Iowa State and be one of the anchors that Kevin Dresser can rely on pretty consistently throughout the next couple months.
Health is such a big deal on every team. How many coaches I talk to say we're just trying to get healthy, even at the beginning of the year.
141, another swing weight. If you joined us at the top of the show from Rock Harrison, Nasir Bailey, 4-2 in his first year in Iowa City, coming over from Little Rock, 2-time Pac-12 champion. He is up a weight this year, up from his normal 133. Coming off a national dual tournament in which he won a couple of matches, went 2-2.
These two guys will fight wrist the whole match. When I say fight wrist, they'll stand there and try to control the wrist to start their offense.
What have you noticed from Bailey so far? The body of work still very small, but up a weight, how's he looking at 141?
You know, it's not enough data for me to really say, but he's still doing the things he did before he transferred over. He's still wrestling well. You know, I want to see how he works on top with his near wrist series. Excuse me, his cross wrist series. You see these guys, they're just grabbing wrist, controlling, grabbing wrist, controlling. This will wear you down. You know what it's like? It's just like grabbing tennis balls and just trying to squeeze tennis balls for 7 minutes, just trying to squeeze. That's what it's like, just grabbing the wrist, grabbing the wrist.
Halfway through, no score. Echemendia trying to find a leg. Anthony Echemendia, 2-1 this year. The Cuba native, Sunnyside High School, which has really become a key spot for Iowa State in the desert there in the Southwest. And connections that they have in that corner of the country. Echemendia, an NCAA qualifier in 2024. Stole call tag to Bailey as we hit a minute to go in the opening period.
What you're seeing is Echemendia is clearing the wrist. He's controlling the wrist, and then he clears the wrist and goes to a sweep single. Wrist, clear, single. So we got to get to a point where Nasir Bailey needs to create some space, because right now, this controlling the wrist is going into Anthony Echemendia. Bailey needs to create just a little space and blast through. See, that's what we're talking about. That wrist, he kept controlling the wrist, and then when he controlled it, he cleared it and stepped right in. That wasn't a shot. He just cleared and stepped.
Unanswered points toward the end of the period. Echemendia will hold this position, let the final few moments dwindle off. They're going to restart it one more time with a second to go as Titus Godbolt enters them back into the center, but the late takedown by Echemendia.
Ending the period on top is always good.
Well, some issue with the clock. There should still be 1 second, so we need one more restart. There we go. So they will put Bailey down underneath. 1 second remaining. Whistle and a 3-0 lead. Echemendia very patient, able to crack through the armor late.
You see that? He did not penetrate. He didn't put his knee on the mat. All he did was clear the wrist and step in. And when he stepped in like that, it didn't give Bailey an opportunity to either crunch him or sprawl.
Back in on a leg, switches to the double, has him airborne and down to the mat for 3. Echemendia finishing with some authority on that second takedown.
Echemendia, you see his game plan, close the gap and create shots. Second time, he did not even penetrate. He's stepping in. He's not giving Bailey any type of opportunity to create space. So let's let this is pretty important here now. Keeping him down, trying to get the riding time. You see, even on the break, he did not let go of the wrist. See him control that wrist? He's staying tight.
Bailey on the board for the first time. Riding time at 49 seconds for Echemendia. Bailey looking at an uphill climb late in this second period. Keep in mind, Bailey has been tagged for stalling once already. That was late in the first period.
Look at that left hand of Echemendia. I can't say it enough. He is controlling the right wrist. He's not shooting, he's just stepping in. This is a tough situation here. He's going to step in, watch him get his hips closer.
Had the over-under position. Hand lock was broke. Bailey still being steered off the mat. Echemendia had him pinned along that far side. Good job by Bailey. Mat awareness, the recircle. He was danger of giving up that second stall.
If I am Nasir Bailey as an adjustment.
And there comes the stall.
If I'm Nasir Bailey, I'm putting my right wrist behind my back or something, because that is what Echemendia is controlling. You see, he goes right to that right wrist. He's controlling that throughout this whole match. We are seeing how to wrestle in a phone booth. He stays tight. He doesn't give any space. Watch him pop the hips. And by bringing them straight back, there's no opportunity for rolls. Now, here we have it. Nasir Bailey, cross wrist, tilts. He's been doing this since his days, home days in Illinois.
Winning state titles at Rich Township High School. This is a guy that can make up ground in a hurry if he catches a wrist and gets you rolled over.
You see exactly what Echemendia is doing? He's keeping his hands out like an airplane. He doesn't want to give up any risk. When you see him stand up, he's not keeping his elbows in. He's putting them out, because if Nasir Bailey grabs a wrist, he may turn you.
You see him? Dresser right there. Little game of charades. You can read along at home with that. Keep those arms, keep those wrists away.
He heard me. That's why he showed what I was trying to articulate. So you see, he's putting arms out. He's not giving up any risk. And that's smart. That's excellent coaching and excellent application of what was taught. Right back to the wrist.
Change of direction. Boy, a beauty there from Echemendia.
This is bad.
Has him up again, and he has him down again. 3 more, and all of a sudden, if you're Iowa State, an opportunity for some bonus points.
This is bonus point material right here. Wow. Who saw this one coming?
What a road back for Echemendia. It started last December. 4 surgeries later, 8 days in the hospital fighting a very serious staph infection. And now up by 9 late on Nasir Bailey.
Popping the hips. Good job there by Echemendia.
Stalemate with 35 seconds to go. Again, keep in mind, riding time not a factor. Echemendia with 53 seconds, leading by 9. This crowd knows what's on the line. Iowa with some big guns coming up.
Just like Keeter did at heavyweight, Nasir Bailey has got to do this for the team. Work for a takedown to take away the bonus point. He's got to work here. Bonus points make all the difference in a tight duel like this.
Echemendia sprawling back, trying to capture that leg.
They're going to let him go. They're telling him 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 let him go.
No need to risk it.
No, he's got to let him go for real. He's got to let him go for real.
Tech, fall possibility. Cut and release, 2 seconds, 1 second. And that is going to be it. Riding time tacked on. He'll win by major decision. Dresser and Iowa State pick up 4 team points. And the Cyclones go up 10-3. Last January, Anthony Echemendia came down with staph infection. He was put in the hospital for over a week. He was off the mat from December through June. He had IV antibiotics put in him for over a month, every 8 hours. As he laid in the hospital bed, moments like this is what he dreamed of. Missing the action, being a part of the fray. And the Cyhawk, and he delivers the first bonus point for either team. A major decision win, 15-2 over Nasir Bailey as we check in with Rock.
Anthony, your offense was on point. What was going through your mind as you were creating these opportunities to score?
My dad talked to me after I wrestled Mendes at the All-Star Classic. He said, you have a huge arsenal. Don't protect your matches anymore. Go out there and go crazy. It don't matter what happens at the end.
Now you went crazy. How do you feel turning this crowd the way you did?
Man, I love this place. Look at this, like I grew up in Cuba, third world country. This is just a dream. Like I always said on my interviews, every second that I get to experience things like this, it's just, I feel like I'm dreaming. So I'm super grateful for Cyclone Nation and the support they show us.
Andy, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
From Cuba to Ohio State, now year 3 in Ames, and Echemendia has given Iowa State the lead. 10-3 Cyclones over Iowa as we get ready. 149, Waverly, Iowa's Ryder Block, Paniro Johnson. Cyclones out for Iowa at 125. Alongside Rock Harris and Sean Kinney, welcoming you back to Hilton Coliseum, where the weather outside certainly frightful. In fact, they have canceled classes in Ames tomorrow. It's been that bad. Kids away for Thanksgiving, but somehow in this state, wrestling is king, and over 10,000 have flocked to Hilton Coliseum to enjoy this one. Ryder Block, Iowa, 3-1. Tremendous high school career, wrestling for Waverly Shell Rock, taking on Paniro Johnson. This was one of the question marks for Iowa State coming in. Would it be Johnson, or would they turn to their returning All-American from a year ago, Jacob Frost? But with the spotlight on, Dresser elects to go with Paniro Johnson.
That's a coaching decision. I mean, and it also speaks to the depth of Iowa State at 149. You have an All-American And then you have Panera Johnson, two-time Big 12 champion. It might have been just a gut feel, or stylistically, he may think that Panera Johnson just stacks up better against Ryder Block.
Ryder Block 3-1 this year, the sophomore from Waverly, first time into the Iowa starting lineup this year. And you talk about perseverance, injuries the last couple of years. He has tore his ACL not once but twice, 2 straight years battling back, and he has been really good this year for the Hawkeyes at 49.
You just saw him give a shot with his double. He's really good at using his length to get a double. He's a relatively tall 149-pounder, and Panera Johnson is on the shorter side of 149.
So much history with high school wrestling in this great state, and Ryder Block, one of the bigger names to come through. 3-time undefeated state champion at Waverly Shell Rock. Back-to-back titles. 106 pounds, one at 138 as well. Now finding a home after the knee injuries the last couple of years, and he's looking right at home at 149. 3-1 this year. Sat behind All-American Kyle Parko a season ago in Iowa City.
And the fact that he stuck around. You hear guys that you know, when they're not going to start, they're ready to hit the portal. But a good job by the Iowa coaching staff to retain their talent, homegrown talent.
So wonderful to hear that Ryder's father is progressing along well. He had a scary moment. His father suffered a heart attack right before their early November duel, and his father ended up having triple bypass heart surgery on the Tuesday before the team left for national duels. Shot here by Johnson. 2 minutes in, no score.
Johnson timed that low single. It wasn't even like a shot, it kind of just dropped down to it. He'll do that often. Ryder Block is doing a good job of stalking. Stalking meaning he's just continuing to keep the pressure forward. Not being reckless, but setting the tone.
Panera Johnson, one of those wrestlers who is very comfortable, likes to operate with a knee down on the mat, especially against the long leverage that Block presents. Those long limbs, long arms, long legs for Ryder Block. Underneath 10 seconds to go, no score here at 149 pounds. And we head to the corner scoreless. Iowa State's choice, they look over, they will defer. Block will start underneath. Johnson ranked number 2 in the country. Shane Van Ness right now for Penn State. Joy of Cornell, Larkin, and then McNeil for Michigan, the former Tar Heel in a new setting.
You know, that's crazy that the number 2 guy in the country may not have wrestled, he may not have started.
Yeah, you look at the wrestle-offs, Kevin Dressler was pretty open about it this week with the media. Johnson has wrestled off 3 times with Jacob Frost. Frost has won 2 of those 3 wrestle-offs. Right now, Block is taking a lot of territory, driving Johnson near the edge. Both heels into the red. Panera Johnson trying to reposition, recircle. Good job by Block, keeping the pressure forward. And the official says let's restart in the center, a minute 24 to go. Second period.
This is a typical Panera Johnson match. Low scoring, maybe one explosive moment against the top level guys. Block is doing a good job of keeping his stance. He's not breaking his stance, and he's coming with an underhook. And he's the offensive wrestler right now.
1 minute.
He is clearly the offensive wrestler right now. Panera needs to take a half shot or something.
Will be Johnson's choice to start the third period. He's having a tough time with the length of block right now, though.
That's a good observation, Sean. He is. So when you have problems with that, you either have to do a misdirection or snap, and then on the response from the snap, take a shot. You can't keep shooting straight in on a guy that's length like that.
"15 seconds in this second period. Block with the escape early. A 1-0 lead for Iowa. Here at 149 pounds, and it will be Johnson's choice, and we'll see what direction they go as we head to the third period. Key weight in this duel. The third annual ACC-SEC Men's Basketball Challenge finishes up Wednesday night. Here's our ESPN doubleheader. Ryan Comwell, Michael Brown Jr. lead 6th-ranked Louisville against Malik Thomas, number 22 Arkansas at 7:15 Eastern, followed by Keyshawn Hall, number 21 Auburn, hosting Darian Williams, 23rd ranked NC State. What a great way to cap off the ACC-SEC Men's Challenge.
Quick escape there by Johnson. 0-1-1, no stall calls. I guess we had to tone it out. We had so many fireworks the first 5 matches. Just 4 matches, we just had to slow it down a little bit.
This crowd sensing that it's a little too quiet, so now they're trying to get behind Paniro Johnson. A rivalry that dates all the way back to 1919, and it's been a rivalry that's been one-sided over the past couple of decades. Iowa winners of 20 straight. Tom Brands has never lost to Iowa State. 19-0 entering this Sunday afternoon in Ames.
As we've seen Paniro Johnson through the years, it's a one-shot match. He gets in on one shot, he's going to bank on that to be the one to make the decision. But Block is doing a good job of moving forward, but not being sloppy. He's keeping the stance.
Keeping a really good stance, keeping a good base.
He got to double up with that. 2 quick shots might get a stall call.
Snap attempt, 35 seconds to go. We have not had an overtime match yet this afternoon. We've had a little bit of everything. Will we be heading to some free wrestling in the next 20 seconds? Question becomes, as you talked about, Rock, Paniro Johnson, one of the more calculative wrestlers out there,
yes.
When will he dial up the go-to shot? It might not come in regulation. Block holding position here in the center with 4 seconds to go. And we will head to overtime.
Overtime, sudden victory. 2 minutes, first point score. It doesn't matter how the points come, first point score, and the match is over.
Who's this bigger for, Rock? Iowa or Iowa State at this weight?
Well, if you're looking at the whole duel meet, this is a very important match for Iowa State, because Iowa State is heavily favored at 65, 74, and 84.
The Hawkeyes heavily favored,
yes,
in those 3 weights.
Thanks.
Tied at 1, sudden victory, 90 seconds to go. Again, first one to score here will win the match. If nothing happens over the next 90 seconds, we will go to 2 30-second tiebreakers, wrestled in its entirety.
Block has got to shoot him out 2 shots. He's got to shoot 2 shots.
It's been one and done for Block. You want to see him string back-to-back attempts.
2 shots, at least to get a stall call. He's got
Johnson just cannot get the right measurement to find Ryder Block.
And Johnson, he's hanging out on the edge too much. That is dangerous. But what I like about Block, his shots, they're not bad shots. He's just not able to get through the quickness of Paniro Johnson.
There's the shot by Johnson, straight on. Trying to get the chest wrap, had the hands locked for a moment. Great strength by Block.
You're right about that. That was that one shot. That was what we're talking about. The calculated one shot. Fantastic defense there by Block.
19 seconds. Oh, the drama so thick right now.
If we go to the tiebreakers, normally I would have given the advantage to Block, but Panera Johnson got out so quickly. So let's talk about it. We have two 30-second periods. Since there was no point scored, now Panera Johnson says, I will defer. I'm not going to choose. Therefore, Block has the option of top, bottom, or neutral.
Block starts underneath. Johnson in the position, and here we go. Two 30-second tiebreakers, and Ryder Block has no trouble getting away.
That was quick.
Very quick for Block, and he gets the escape, 2-1. 3 seconds is what it took for Block to get out. And the action goes out of bounds, 4 seconds.
What does Panera Johnson do? Does he go underneath or just start on the neutral?
We're about to find out. You could see the dilemma on the face of Coach Kevin Dresser.
What are they going to do?
He was thinking about it.
He's going to go down or go neutral? He's going neutral.
He's going neutral.
Johnson chooses neutral.
Oh boy, a 30-second flurry is about to come.
Johnson goes neutral, needs the takedown to win it. On the hunt. Oh, what a statement and signature win this would be on the road for Ryder Block of Iowa. 13 seconds. Block giving some ground, and he knew he had a stall call to give. Good wrestling there by Block as they go back to the center.
Even if they get another stall call here, remember, riding time.
8 seconds. What a month it has been for Ryder Block of Iowa. And this is one of those moments for this youngster from Waverly, and he delivers when the spotlight is the brightest. 2 ACL surgeries. His father on the back of his mind, coming off the triple bypass surgery. He wrestled so well in Tulsa, and now here in Ames, he delivers in the tiebreaker. Ryder Block of Iowa with the second win of the night for the Hawkeyes. 10-6 now, Iowa State by 4.